section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga, woof. I'm an 88 pack nigga, woof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood, tryna stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Bronx on deck. I'm going to say it twice. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Let's get it. All right, let's get it. Bronx on deck. I had to go get my brother Thomas. You know what I mean? You know, Stormy's in the building. And again, I'm going to say it the third time. Third time. Bronx on deck. All right. My brother Ismael's in the building, man. What's good, brother?
Hey, good evening. How's it going, Drew?
Man, we good. We good. Hey! Kirk Johnson, what's good, man? How you feel? Good to see you, man. Salute, man. That's the champ right there. How you feel, good brother? Good, man. I saw. Listen, I was on the gram. I saw Kurt hitting the bag. I'm like, yo, Kurt, you planning to come back, man? That was you hitting that bag, right? You planning to come back, good brother? Let me know, man. We can get some promotion going on, man. Feet were moving, man. I said, oh shit, look at that. That was crazy, man. Salute to the chat, man. I see y'all in the building, man. Got my brother Ismael from the Bronx in the building, man. BRONX Strong. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let the audience know who you are, brother.
So I'm a professional boxer. My name is Ismael Villarreal. I recently fought at Madison Square Garden 2 Thursdays ago. And right now, my current record is 13-2.
13-2 out the Bronx. So you know how. Look, Kurt. He said, "I'll let you know." Yeah, please let me know. You know what I'm saying? We'll put that train on that track, so we'll push it, man, for real. Yeah, man. So how long you been boxing, good brother?
So I've been boxing for 17 years now. I started at 9 years old, but I would say maybe a little more younger than that, considering that my pops was a boxer. So I always been around boxing.
Oh, okay. Okay. You always start out young. So now, when did you turn pro?
I believe I was 20. So that was back in 2017, I believe. 2017, I did my debut at the Garden, actually.
At the Garden, that was your pro debut?
Yeah.
Right at home, man. That's dope. Man. That's dope, man. So, is this something that you would like to pursue like full time? Because I know, you know, and we're gonna get this brother fought on Thursday and went to work Friday morning. That's gangster as hell. That's gangster as hell. I told my boss, yo, look, man, I need an E day. I gotta sleep this off. This brother had a hard fight on a Thursday and went to work on Friday. Is this something you would like to pursue full time and, you know, just focus on this without having a conventional job?
Yeah, absolutely. If I was in a position where I could just box, then I feel like I'll be at a better position in terms of boxing, because you know, boxing is a sport, it's a career that you have to be 100% in. You can't be half and half. So considering that I work, it could be a little bit conflicting, balancing a career, which is, you know, where I work at, and also boxing. So there's not enough time to rest or recover, I would say, when I have to go to work and do a 8-hour shift, you know. It could be a little bit too much on my plate. But absolutely, maybe next year or in the future to come, if I could focus on strictly boxing, I think that would be great for me and make me into a better fighter.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. And this is like way back in the days, man. I used to hear stories about You know, for even like NBA players back in the days, way back, like after a game, they would like go to work or leave their job. After their job, they go play a game and then go back to the job. I mean, it's unheard of now. You know what I'm saying? But you know, boxers is full-time jobs, and it's tough getting in training, man. Where you train out of?
Right now, I train at John's Boxing Gym. It's located near Castle Hill Avenue on Haviland Avenue.
Haviland. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Mr. T, you know Mr. T, right?
Mr. T, the actor,
T,
yes.
Short guy.
Actor?
He wear a lot of gold.
You're talking about the trainer?
Yeah, he's a trainer.
With the sunglasses?
Yeah, he wears the sunglasses.
Yeah, I know him. That's my guy.
Yeah, he got on my bus 2 weeks ago. He was on my bus. I was like, yo, what up, man? He's like, yeah. I said, yeah, I know you. You a trainer at the gym. He's like, yeah. I'm actually gonna slide through there soon. You know, get a workout in. He trying to get me in a goddamn ring. I said, bro, nah, I'm past it. Don't do that.
Getting in the ring is not for everyone.
Yeah, I'm past it. I'm past it. I'm not trying to. I'm not.
Hey, you know something, Drew, and guys, I'm not an advocate of that. I'm not an advocate of just throwing guys in the ring, but there are some trainers, especially old school trainers, they would love to do that, man. They'll grab a guy. You walk in the gym and be like, you know, I first time in the gym, you're looking around. Oh, it's nice. You know, people hitting the bags and jumping rope and stuff. And they say, hey, gear up.
You're like, yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Gear up. What you mean? You know what I'm saying?
There have been situations where we have guys from the street come in, and you know, I guess they just want to try it out and automatically want to get in the ring and spar. Mm-hmm. That never goes good for them.
It never works out. It never works out. I haven't sparred, like I haven't had a live sparring session, something real in Jesus Christ. It's been years. I'll say that. It's been years, and I'm out of it. I'm not with it. You know, I train. You know, I go in there and do some drills and hit the bag and jump some rope. But to go in there and spar, I'm not young anymore, man. I just turned 48 years old. To go in there and spar I'm not even sparring a guy. I'm 220 pounds and I'm in shape, but I'm not even trying to spar like these small guys. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I remember it'll take one good hit to remind me. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is why I didn't pursue this shit. Like for real. I'm not, you know, for real. Listen, boxing not for everybody. Some people just need to either just watch it on TV or talk about it online. But please, man, please, this shit is not for everybody.
My method had always been to have guys who want to participate in the sport and want to get in there. I hold them back from sparrings for months.
Right.
For months. I let them get acclimated to the gym. I let them get acclimated to the floor exercises. I make them watch sparring, especially if you got a couple of guys in the gym that are like your top guys in the gym, you know, and the guys who are there like day in and day out, because they know how to move. They know how to move around and stuff like that. Not the lesser guys, because I want them to understand that there is a gap between where you presently stand,
right,
before you get to knowing how to handle yourself in there. Now you're looking at these two guys, they can handle themselves and they can they can spar and work out at various speeds, you know, because you might have a guy that's in there today working on something specific. Then you may have another guy that might be getting ready for a match.
Right.
So there are varying degrees. So you don't just put people in there. You understand? And, you know, I told that story before about the one cat I had, Paul, who was chomping at the bit so bad to get in there and called himself. He took what he had 3 weeks of learning in the gym, not even sparring or anything, and went to a tough man contest and got beat up. Man. And then he came back to me with a shiner and everything. And he was like, I said, man, what happened to you? He was like, oh man, I out there in the tough man contest last night at some nightclub. where they had on Tuesday nights, they would have a tough man contest. So he thought he would get in there. I say, dude, you lucky you didn't break your hand or get your jaw broke or didn't get your nose broken. I was like, I'm actually trying to teach you something here and you veering off track. So I kind of had his ear after that, you know, but it's like, this is the very kind of thing we're trying to save you from. You know what I mean?
Save them from themselves, man.
Mhm.
It's not good. It's not cool, man. It's not cool. Listen, it's not for everybody. I tell everyone the same story, man. I remember I got hit with a body shot so hard, man. I ripped the loudest fart you could ever hear. I didn't even know it was there. Boom, bam, and the whole gym heard it. They stopped. It was like, yo, I need to go check my drawers. That shit was crazy. I was like, damn, that shit hurt.
You're lucky that's all it was a fart, because there have been occasions when a package was delivered. You know, it's like it happens. Believe me. And I ain't cleaning it up either. You gonna clean it.
You gonna clean it. Oh man, that's all bad, man. But I was lucky, man. Yo, Thomas, my brother.
What's good?
What you got on it, man?
None, man. You know, Ish works with a very good friend of mine. He's one of my best friends. I've known him for like 30-something years, and Socrates, he put me on to Ish, and he put me on to a couple other fighters, and I always support anything in the Bronx. I used to coach baseball for years. I coached Little League baseball for like 12, 13 years. So I've always, worked within my community, and I always want to see, kids strive and do better, as young adults and as adults, and just do well and represent their communities well. So, introducing me to Ish, Ish is a good young man, very humble, very quiet individual for a fighter, right? You would never think that he's a fighter, but he's a great fighter. He put on a great performance this past Thursday. And unfortunately, in the fight, he fought a guy that they're bringing up, and they're trying to, make this guy look good. And, we had a good ref, but he had a bad night, and he missed a couple of knockdowns that I thought were pretty solid, and that would have changed everything. And the momentum.
Who was the ref? Let's say his name, because
Willis,
normally he's good.
Steve Willis, right? I think it's
Willis.
Steve Willis, yeah. And and he's a good ref, and I think he had a bad night, or he's just part of the boxing establishment that was kind of helping this other guy grow.
More than likely, that's what that was, Thomas.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Yeah, because if it's the other way around, they count those knockdowns.
Oh my God, bro!
You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel,
bro. Stormy,
that's that part of this sport that I talk about all the time. See, there's certain things that we can say on the air, and there's certain things that we should not say on the air. But to work within the framework is to be understood that this is a fraternity.
Yeah.
And there are rules and guidelines within that. The more connected you are, the more leverage and leeway you have to operate. Unless you happen to be a talent that can catch the eye or the ire of someone specifically, and then that person can vouch for you or whatever. Otherwise, you got to be a guy that grinds, keep your head low, and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, but guess what that's like also? Real life, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people have you seen advance in real life because they know someone? Nepotism.
Yeah.
This country is built and run on that.
Yeah.
Drew, I sent you something earlier. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but
Marvel?
It was Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. Yeah, I watched it.
You watched that?
Yeah,
you see?
I did.
You see what he said in that clip? And what he said, he said he could end the national debt in 5 minutes. And basically he said the thing would be to implement a law that says that the current Congress that's in, if you can't get this done within, you give them, you're not viable for re-election.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Because they're not doing their job.
Yeah.
Now, let me say
on
this.
their Lord, so to speak.
Let me say this for those of you that don't know. Caleb Walsh is an up-and-coming guy. He's not a trash fighter. Let me just put that out there. But let me tell y'all what Ismael was up against that night. And I knew when I walked in the fucking door. When I walked through the door, the first person I saw was Larry Holmes. And I said, this must be a pretty big event. Larry Holmes is here. So I walk in. I look towards the ring. I saw Triple H, the wrestler. I said, what the fuck is he doing here? And no, I'm serious. I said, what the fuck? Then I saw Dana White. I said, wait a minute. Okay, there's an event. There was a UFC event that weekend. I said, okay, but what are they doing here? I saw big-ass John Jones. First of all, I didn't know John Jones was that big. I didn't know. That dude is fucking, he's a monster now. Before I said, man, he won't fight Francis Ngannou. Wait a minute. I looked, I said, holy shit, he's bigger than Francis Ngannou. He's huge. And there was other people there. There was a master grappler there, this white guy with salt and pepper hair. I forget his name. But it was strange seeing him because that was the first time I saw him in person. I said, man, this
lightweight, UFC lightweight, I think.
Yeah,
Like
man,
that. Lower weight.
He looked like a video game character.
I know what you're talking about.
It's like somebody will step to him and say, yo, give me your wallet, and he'll bend you into a pretzel.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah. This is who was there. And I said, who the fuck is Ismael fighting? I said, what is going on here? The card was really good. The cards was really good. The cards was really, really good. Really, really good. Our brother from the Dominican Republic, Gordon Ryan. That's who that was. Gordon Ryan. That's him. Our brother from the DR, he made a mistake and he got clipped. And he never recovered, but that's okay.
You told the co-main event. The co-main event.
Yeah.
That kid is good. The kid from Sacramento. I did some research on Sandoval.
Sandoval,
he's pretty solid.
Yeah. And you know what I noticed? He was built like a cab driver. Yes, but he was naturally stronger. Mm-hmm. And I said, shit. And homie made a mistake coming in on the inside, and he ate one, and he never recovered. Yeah, he never recovered. He was in it, but he never recovered. I said, damn. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yo, who the fuck is Ismael fighting? So then I knew Caleb, but not really. And then I looked and I said, look at all these Irish brothers around here. And then I said, wait a minute, this is smart. For those of you that don't know, if you have an Irish fighter, New York is the perfect place to push them. John Duddy used to sell out all the time. Andy Lee fought here several times. The Irish come out here and support. But the Bronx was in there. But I was looking around and then I saw the screen. Dana White co-signs Caleb Walsh. I said, oh shit. Uh-oh. So I said, Ismael's fighting all of this. He's fighting the UFC. He's fighting these drunk maniacs in the crowd. They done invited Larry Holmes out here.
Listen, said, oh. Man, I would have said, if I had known Ismael and that offer was coming up, and I said, well, who they want you to fight? And they would have said, Callum, I would have said, the name.
Yo, bro.
The name.
And I'm going to tell you why.
And the thing about it is, it's not like, I don't think you could win or something like that. It's about what's attached.
It's what's attached to it.
You know.
Attached to it.
And that's the whole other part about this sport. Because if you can get some veteran people to, be around you and kind of guide and help advise in that aspect, because you can be treated just like a piece of meat here.
Yeah.
And that's not to your benefit or advantage whatsoever. It's always to who you would be in there with, because they will line you up and match you up, But And then they'll try to run that guilt trip on you too. They'll be like,
Yeah.
"What's the matter? You don't want to fight? You want to be a fighter, don't you?" You know.
Well, this is you're right, Stormy, and this is what he was up against. And I said, shit, he needs a knockout to win. He needs a knockout to win. Now, like I said, I turned up because like me and my boy, I looked at my boy, I said, you see what this brother's up against, right? He said, yeah. Now, Ismael, I want you to take us through the fight. Round one. Well, first of all, what was it like when you was walking out? Was you nervous, or was it like, yo, it's game time? What was your feelings when you walked out?
That night, it felt like a movie. Honestly, you know, coming out to see people from New York, you know, being able to represent my city and having my people show out, and I knew it was going to be a crazy night, considering, as you were saying, with the Irish fans, it's definitely a very diverse area when it comes to Irish people. So I was expecting.
Who I might add, they're wonderful. The Irish fans are wonderful.
Oh yeah,
they were wonderful. The Irish fans are wonderful. Wonderful.
Definitely. So I knew coming in it was going to be a lot of Irish people, and you know, people that come who's going to come and see me. It was an interview that I was saying, hopefully there's no fight after the fight, because you know, people drinking, and you know, you got one fan and you got another group of fans, so I knew it was gonna be crazy. But good thing nothing bad happened afterwards. But yeah, coming out, I felt very confident and ready to fight, and coming in, I knew I was the underdog throughout the whole fight. I knew I was the underdog. I knew I most definitely knew I had to get a knockout to win before the fight even started, because there is a lot of attachment with my previous opponent, Dana White, UFC, but it was an opportunity that I took. And funny thing is, my grandfather told me not to take the fight because he knew what was going to happen. You know, that fight was not in my favor to win, regardless if many people thought I won. Only way for me to win was to get a knockout. You know, when it comes to boxing, there's a lot of politics, very political. You know, but that's boxing. That's what happens. And you know, I would say if I had more of a promotion back, I think it would have evened the playing field. But as you saw, coming out the ring, they didn't say much about me. Just, oh, here comes Ismael.
They didn't say shit about you. They just said you're from the Bronx, New York. That's all they said.
Yeah. It was like, well, like a 2-minute thing. When he came out, had a whole video, had a motion behind him. Like 7 minutes for the whole thing too.
They did the whole the national anthem for him.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know we was gonna have the national anthem. But you know, I had to get ready. I had to get up. But like, you know, hey, they're playing my anthem too, so I'm ready to fight. But yeah, coming into this fight, it wasn't in my favor, honestly. But it is what it is. First round, I would say it was more so testing the water. Being honest, they wanted me to fight a different way, as in me pushing forward and pursuing the fight, because I have to make it seem and known that I'm here to fight. You know, if I box, then they're gonna give him the round.
Yeah.
Even though I did box the first round, throughout the whole fight was pushing forward, but there was no moment for me to relax, because if I was to box or just stop on the gas, then they would just give him the round. So I had to constantly be pressuring and moving forward. Second round, I believe I did get hit, or was the fourth round?
You got clipped. Yeah.
I got hit with a shot. I think it was second or fourth. I did get clipped, but I was able to recover. I was still in game, you know. I wasn't like to the point where it's like one more shot and I'm gone. I was still reacting. I was still able to see my eyes wasn't gone. My legs were still working. I was able to hold on for a few seconds and box for a few. But it was a good experience. I haven't got hit as hard. Like my first fight, I got hit hard. I thought I was gonna be a goner for my first fight.
Wow.
But this fight, I think my condition, preparing for this fight, I think that's what helped me recover quickly. And then throughout that, I was able to continue and able to work.
Yeah, using shape, man. You didn't have a 6-pack, you had a 12-pack, man. Using shape. Using shape.
I was ready, man. I was ready. And then after that, I did notice that he gassed out quickly. That's something that I knew
Round 5.
Like,
he was going, and then that's when you turned the swag on.
Mm-hmm.
You turned it on. I said, look. And then everyone around me, they were like, oh shit. Because you know why? You were still there. And I didn't know that this kid Walsh never been past 6 rounds.
No.
I said, oh, here we go. Now we're gonna see what he's made of. And you turned it on. You shrugging your shoulders. He's trying to rally against you. Nothing really landing. You know what I'm saying? But you turned it on in the second half of the fight. And I noticed when you pressured him and backed him up, he was not used to that. And he's a little taller than you.
Yeah.
A little bit. So I couldn't figure out why when y'all got into the exchange and you had him against the ropes, he just literally leaned over and his gloves touched the ground. Now, the first 2 times he did it, I said, he did it like 7 times, man. And I'm looking at Steve like, yo, bro, take a point or quarter knockdown. What are you doing?
You know what that tells me?
What's that?
I didn't even see the fight. But you know what that tells me? He's never been in a position where somebody has given it back to him.
That's right.
No.
Never.
That's right.
Because that's not the way to respond to close proximity action.
Yeah.
And that lets you know that as much hype as he may have and traction and following that they got the support, he's still not being taught.
Stormy, we had great seats. I was looking in that kid's face. By the time round 5 was over, Ismael had him going back to his corner. He looked like a kid about to get a spanking from his mama. I'm serious. I looked at his face. I looked for shit like that, and he was just going back to his corner like, and his corner was trying to calm him down. I said, bro.
Where else did you see that recently?
Was that? Oh, where I saw it recently?
Yeah, I'll tell you. In Cancun, Mexico, when Oshaki Foster Vasquez late in the fight, and Vasquez had never been past 6 rounds.
Yep.
He didn't know what to do. He tried bullying. He tried being a little bit dirty on the inside. He tried like punching as hard as he could. He run out of answers.
And in that last round,
for him to do but try to fight.
And in that
and he wasn't conditioned to go 12.
And in that last round, Stormy, when he got hurt, did you remember when he kept looking at his corner? I was like, yo, no, don't do that. You got to fight, man. Wobbling, he keep looking at his corner. Don't look at me. Look at your opponent. He's about to kick your ass.
Man, why he in the moment?
Why do you think that the old adage, fatigue makes cowards out of men, has always stood the test of time? When he had nothing left, he was looking for help. He was like, circle the wagons. The white flag is ready to go up. And I was so glad that Oshaki stepped it up, because a lot of fighters let down mentally when that moment is there. Usually there's a defining moment in every fight where a fighter can make a choice to take it to another level if it's in him, or try to do something to change the course of whatever's going on. And some do that. Oshaki did that in that fight. That's why I was so happy for him, because he was in hostile territory. The final bell rings, they steal a fight from him.
Yeah, they had the other guy.
And he took that off the table.
Yep.
And by doing that, accomplishing that type of circumstance and going through that type of heat, it will do so much more to advance him as a fighter. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he'll raise another level. Now you look at Shakur with what happened with his fight. He made a choice not to do anything. You see the difference?
Yep.
He made a choice not to do anything. But on the other hand, so did De Los Santos.
Sure
De
did.
Los Santos had the wrong cornermen, because the real good cornermen would have encouraged him and enticed him to go out there and take this fight from this kid, because he don't want to fight you.
Right.
But they were probably a little bit enamored with Shakur's name. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
So they were probably thinking in their minds, maybe he's playing possum. He wasn't playing possum.
Mm-mm.
He didn't have answers, and he didn't have self-belief.
Right.
As a coach and trainer, you have to be able to define these moments. You have to be able to see this thing. You are your fighter's extra set of eyes. Now, you hear people say that, right? But what does it really mean? I'm telling you what it really means. You have to be able to assess what you're looking at, not what the fans are seeing.
Right.
When a guy is shutting down mentally, the first thing that happens is he stops fighting.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing he does.
Mm-hmm.
Shakur never started. Now, it's funny, you can laugh, but I'm not saying that like trying to tear him down, because I've been hearing people out there talking about it, because folks had stuff to say about him, and rightfully so, because he opened his mouth and ran it so much. He's due what's coming at him.
Yeah.
But remember, I have a critical eye on what I'm talking about, and I can always substantiate it. He never got going.
Mm-hmm.
So what the hell was De Los Santos and his corner waiting for? Did you think that you go 10, 12 rounds, they're going to just hand you that belt? No. You got to take it. You got to.
And that was his mistake. He was supposed to run up on him.
His mistake.
That was
That's
his
why I
mistake.
said it was like two sides of the same coin. It was like one guy couldn't fight and the other guy didn't want to. But you could flip the coin to decide who was who, because they both played the role
Yeah.
at times during the match. They both. At one point, Shakur didn't want to fight. He showed that. At the other point, De Los Santos didn't fight. So he showed that. So, and then you look at it from both sides, and they were both doing pretty much the same thing. Who
That's
wants it? Huh? You ever seen two fat dudes go for the last slice of pizza? It's like, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? And nobody in that match. That's why the people were booing. That's why the people were booing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing with Ismael, it went from celebrating Caleb to they were trying to uplift Caleb, because past round 5, they were nervous. And I'm in the audience looking around like, oh shit. He took his best shot, he stumbled, he got back, and Ismael was there. So the second half of the fight, it was, oh shit, this guy's still here. What are we gonna do? Well, keep fighting. And I'm gonna tell you what Caleb did. He looked for help from Steve, man. And he got a lot of help. All of that leaning down and putting his gloves on the mat. I said, bro, come on, bro. You gotta do better than that. And that's where the politics kicked in. Dana White, Triple H, the judges, the ref. Ismael was against all of that. It was to the point where Caleb would throw flurries. Ismael had the high guard, nothing touched. But the crowd erupted. See, that plays on certain things. You understand? Ismael, when did you get comfortable in the ring? Like, yo, you know what? I think I got him. When did you get comfortable?
I would say round 4, after I took that shot and I kept pushing forward. I think I finished strong with that round. And then afterwards, like, because I studied him and I knew he was gassed out. I seen him gassed out in certain videos. So I knew I was not gonna gas. I was prepared. And then I was hitting certain criteria for the judges, as in pushing forward, pressuring. Every time the round end and we was in the corner, I was already up and ready to fight. So I always got up before the bell even rang, so I could show the judges that I was here to fight. and I will see him sitting, and I already knew I have more condition. I'm going to fight. And I kept pushing forward.
You
and
put
pushing
tremendous
forward.
mental stress on him just by doing that alone.
Absolutely.
Just by doing that alone. I cannot tell you. Fighter is up off that stool, ready to go before that bell rings, and the other guy is thinking like, "Shoot, this sucker, he raring to go already." I'm telling you, it plays mental stress on fighters.
Stormy, he started walking forward. He was walking him down.
Yeah.
Listen, did you guys know in the Thriller in Manila, when the 14th round ended, Ali went back to his corner and he told Angelo Dundee and Ferdy Pacheco and all his cornermen, he said, "Take these gloves off. That man is crazy. I ain't going back out there." Yeah. They say, "Sit down, champ, sit down." In Frazier's corner, Eddie Futch told Frazier, "Joe, I got to stop it. You're blind in one eye and your other eye is swollen shut." So his good eye was okay, but his good eye was his blind eye. A lot of people don't know Joe Frazier fought with one eye.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Blind in his good eye. So Joe started to argue with Eddie Futch, and he got ready to stand up, and Futch put his hands on his shoulder and said, "No, Joe, just sit down." And so he sat down, and the fight was over. When they told Ali that Joe wasn't coming out for the 15th, Ali just kind of like fell apart, really, because he wasn't going back out himself. He told them he wasn't going back out. And so Georgie Benton, who was an assistant to Eddie Futch at the time, had said, if we had any idea that Ali felt the way he felt, we would have had Joe get up off of the stool before the bell and start shadow boxing like he raring to go. And Ali would not have come out for the 12th and for the 15th. And this is a true story told by Ali himself.
Yeah.
You know,
so you see, I'm saying that, Ismael, because please keep that type of spirit and disposition in you, brother. It will work for you. It will work for you. Have belief.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and then it's like I didn't know I had that in me. You know, that's something else that's really, you know, it's really a mental game, all psychological. I didn't know I had that in me, that I can keep pushing forward and keep fighting. You know, and I think that's just me just progressing to a new level as a fighter, something that I didn't know I had, because you know, going in 10 rounds is not easy and so on. So having that mental durability is something that's important in boxing.
And can I share another tidbit with you? What's your weight class again?
Super welterweight, 154.
Super welterweight. Check this out. And this is just a little bit of advice. Learn to fight for the distance. Learn to fight for the distance. Don't worry about trying to get somebody out of there in a couple rounds. Learn to fight for the distance. I'll tell you why. Because most fighters are built on stoppages and knockouts. Most fighters don't know how to fight. Okay? And knowing how to fight means knowing what to do when those things that you got other people out of there early don't happen. When you gotta find how to beat that style. When you have to overcome and get that second wind. When you evaluate what might be working, but it's not working, but you make an adjustment so that now you're giving the other guy a different look. So he has to either adjust to that adjustment or he's going to lose because the adjustment you've made is being successful. Now, this is the key to it all right here, what I'm about to say. When you make the adjustment and say that he adjusts to that, then you go back to doing what you were originally doing. Throws a wrench into everything.
Yeah.
Because he's like, wait a minute, what the? I thought we were going to do this. And now he's doing that. You see, you're controlling and dictating the tempo of the fight.
Right.
You see? And again, experienced fighters do these things. And the way that you gain experience is by going the rounds. We already know you can fight. We already know that when you catch a guy clean, and sometimes with a shot he don't see, it could get him out of there. But like the great Pernell Whitaker once said, why knock a guy out in a couple of rounds when you can beat him over the distance and he don't win a round from you? You totally humiliate the guy.
Yeah.
And he be running, he can't make no excuses. 12 rounds of getting his ass whooped over saying, like, if you stopped him in 4 or 5, oh, I just got caught. We got the tapes. You didn't win a round, buddy. And you know, it was very hard to win rounds from Sweet Pete.
Yeah.
I'm not saying a person has to fight like Sweet Pete. What I'm trying to say is being a fighter that you may want to get your knockouts later in the fight. Like you say, that guy was starting to fall apart mentally after a few rounds.
Yeah.
Look to take him out later, especially if you feel like you can really get him, because you can bait him into your success. That's using this up here, because anybody can ball a fist up and throw a punch, but not everybody can outsmart who's in front of them.
That's right. That's a true
So
story.
that's just a little bit of advisement from me, coming from me.
Thank you.
That's why we call him the sensei.
Yeah.
For real, man. For real, man. That's experience right there, man. Your style. Do you are there any people that you watch growing up that you well, who are your influences in the ring? Let me ask you that. When you started fighting, who are your influences?
Started fighting. I didn't have like a boxer. No, I didn't have anyone. I will say my pops, because he introduced me to the sport.
Right.
But as right now, as I'm older, I would say Marvelous Hagler, Marvin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like that guy was built like a wall, man. He was like a rock.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know, he wasn't a tall guy or anything. He was like 5'9", and he was short and
Closer to 5'8", actually.
yeah. But you know, he's not a tall guy like myself. So I feel like I have like that as in terms of like height and structure. I feel like
And did you know that when he wasn't fighting, and he fought regularly, but when he wasn't fighting, he wouldn't allow himself to go 15 pounds over his fight weight.
Very important.
He stayed close to fight weight, stayed very close to it. That's discipline.
Absolutely.
What's the old saying? Stay ready.
You know, to get ready.
You have to get. That's right. So
You see, Marvelous was always. Do you know Marvelous was doing so well at middleweight that they had offered him an opportunity to move up to light heavyweight and fight Michael Spinks, and Hagler was like, no. He's like, I'm not moving up. He's like, what I'm gonna move up to some big men for? He's like, I'm not a big man. I'm gonna stay right here where I am and handle my business. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And we remember him today for his accomplishments, just like we can remember Michael Spinks for the accomplishments he had. You see, it's not always about moving up, because sometimes guys do that to either chase the bag of money or because they want to be as undisciplined as they possibly can when it comes to keeping their condition and their shape. But understand this about being in condition. The more that you deny yourself, the more purpose that you have when you're fighting, because you can take it out on the opponent. You can say, you know what? I couldn't have that slice of cheesecake because this guy stood in the way. I couldn't drink a beer because this guy stood in the way. You know, have purpose instead of inviting, like, well, I'm not fighting, so let me have this cheesecake or I'm gonna have a beer. You know, no. Deny yourself so that you can have the success that you say that you want. And you'll feel much better, because when that success starts to come, you see the fruits of your labors and you want to settle into it even more.
That's right.
You know, it becomes a part of who you are, your constitutional makeup. That is something. See, people could say, well, he's got this kind of style or whatever, but they cannot gauge what's inside of you as a man, your character. So that's what you build. And understand that as strong as the mind can be, the body has no choice but to follow. Think about it. Weak-minded individuals, where do they find themselves? In trouble. Huh?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
True story.
Strong-minded people find themselves up against challenges a lot because they have strength. There's resolve there, and there's opposition to it. There'll always be someone to try to test it and challenge it. But if you stand your ground, you'll see the seas part sometimes, because some people bluff. Huh? They bluff. We just saw that Thursday night as well.
Yeah.
So there's examples. No, I'm serious. There's examples out here. I do a show, Ismael, on Tuesday evenings called the Tuesday Tussle. I talk about, it's like my coach's show where I talk about the marrying of boxing and everyday life and boxing. And I'm always using analogies and metaphors of how this all works together, because every day is a battle for us. The war is ongoing, and some battles you win and some battles you may not win. But the whole purpose is don't give up the fight.
You can't give it up, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't give it up. And I saw something in you. When you recovered, you got hurt. I said, Walsh got to go there and get him. I said he got to get him, because I said if he lets him off the hook, it's gonna be a long night, and I'll be damned. There was people saying, "Yo, I think he won that fight." Now those scorecards was atrocious.
Yeah,
it was atrocious. Did they get the call right? I was leaning towards draw because of the early side of the fight, but I'm looking at all those blown knockdowns in that 10-8 round. In round 10, I said, come the fuck on. Ismael either won or it was a draw. But again, he was up against the machine. He was up against the machine. And I'm going to tell you what you did, Ismael. I'm going to tell you what you did do. When they shut down the Hulu, everybody said, yo, hey, Freddie Roach, you got to get this kid better, because he can't have another one of these, because he might not make it. 154, people saw that shit. This kid has a lot of hype behind him. Is he beating Bud? Is he beating any one of those guys? If Mel comes back down, people saw that shit. And to me, after what Ismael exposed, this kid, Kalen Walsh, is now, in my opinion, he's an ass whooping waiting to happen. As a matter of fact, if Ismael gets back into the rankings, if that rematch is available, I bet you they ain't taking it.
no,
They ain't taking it. They won't take that shit. Thomas, you think they take that shit?
they're not taking it. I mean, he was a defeated man. He didn't act like a defeated man, but you could see in his body language. You know, after the 6th round, his body language changed. This is a guy that was arrogant coming into the fight.
Yep.
You know, he said some comments. He didn't want to watch tape. He said he was going to get Ish out of there. You know, he came in very confident, like he was going to blow Ish away.
Mm-hmm.
And after the 5th, 6th round, you tell the body language was different. He was on his back foot. This is a high volume guy puncher, this Irish guy. He throws a lot of punches usually. And you could tell he hasn't been past 6 rounds, and he was tired. He was beaten up. You know, he was a defeated man. And I'm telling you something, that 8th round, his body language changed more, because that was a legit knockdown. Ish turned to the ropes and caught him with a left, and he immediately buckled and dropped, and his gloves hit the floor. But it was the left hook that shook his body, and And that was a knockdown, and that even changed the fight even more. And
Yep.
and even in the knockdown in the 10th, after he got back up, Ish closed the show. He hit him with 2 big rights, and he was hurt. He was hurt. He said, "Oh, it was a slip. It wasn't." He was hurt in that round.
He said it was a slip.
He said that it was a push and that it wasn't really a knockdown. That's what he said, because that was the first time he's ever been knocked down. So he said it was more of a push, but he was hurt. He got up and he was hurt, and Ish caught him. I vividly recall 2 straight right hands he caught him with, and he was buckled.
Bro, there was a point where he tried to unload on him, and it's backed up. He just went like this. I was like, "Yo, this shit is over, man."
You remember that Ish? He said like
man,
this.
she went like this.
Yeah, because it's like I already knew I had him, and I was just showing the referee, the judges, he's throwing, but he's not landing. Anyone could throw punches, but and not land. What's like that's amateur. Anyone could do that. But if you're not landing any punches, if I'm bopping and weaving and avoiding it, evading your punches and blocking your punches, I don't think it's significant enough to win a fight. But the thing is, I feel like boxing, they pick and choose when that counts and when it doesn't count.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. But this was a good lesson for you because I'm sure you probably knew. You say you want to do this sport full time. Do you know a lot of pros that are on like a level where they're doing this full time?
I wouldn't say I know them like personally, but I know a few.
You sparred a few pros. I mean, I know you sparred. You fought Berlanga before, right? I think in the amateurs, and I think you sparred with Haney. Is that true?
With Haney, I fought Berlanga back in the amateurs. Yes.
Okay.
So true.
Yeah, Berlanga, I am not gonna. I'm not gonna. Do it.
I fought with Richardson Hitchens as well. I fought with a lot of guys. Like you gotta remember, Puerto Rican, that 140 Puerto Rican champ at IBF, Matisse.
Oh, you fought Matias?
No, we sparred back when I went to Puerto Rico to train.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I brought that up is because this business is a business, and you witness firsthand what can be done. You know what I mean? You're in your home city, and half of Ireland, the UFC, and John Jones, and the WWE was there. That's what you was up against. And although you lost on the cards, we all saw the fight. And I'm telling you that when the lights went out, everybody looked at Caleb and said, shit, you got to get this kid right because we can't have this again because he might not make it. Which is why if the opportunity presents itself and let's say you move up in the rankings and it's like, all right, he got a belt now and you're the mandatory, he will do everything in his power to get the fuck away from you because he's not going to want that because this time you'll have those 2 extra rounds to put him on his ass. This was a 10-round fight. You'll have those 2 extra rounds to put the boots to him. And all of that smashing the gas he tried to do in the first 4 or 5 rounds, it's not going to work. One thing I did notice, and that actually it made sense because I did notice Freddie Roach. If you want your fighter to have some defense, Freddie Roach is not that guy.
He's not
that guy. He's not that guy. Offense, I would say he's okay, but defense, no. I've seen a bunch of his fighters get slapped around the ring. It's retarded. I mean,
Freddie used to get slapped around the ring.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna beat your glover with my face. That's the Freddie Roach, style of fight. Freddie.
Remember, it's not. Listen, you could be a talented guy. You could have hands speed, foot speed. You know what I mean? Big power punch, all of that. the smarter guy typically wins. The smartest guy. You know why? Because the smartest guy knows that all I got to do, especially if he's studied, all I got to do is wait for the dude to make his mistake and be ready to capitalize.
Yep.
Proof in the pudding. Freddie Roach trained Manny Pacquiao, right? Now, Manny Pacquiao enjoyed the luxury of being a fighter that a network and a promotional company and everything, they rode the waves that he brought because he represented a company where there was a huge fan base and audience. There was money to be made. But he made the mistake of fighting a gentleman by the name of Juan Manuel Marquez, who was typically about the best fighter that he could be facing. And in the first fight against Marquez, Manny was fortunate to put Marquez down 3 times in the first round. But there was no 3 knockdown rule in that particular fight. So Juan Manuel got up and basically won the rest of the fight.
Countered him the whole
And he
fight.
got the decision.
Yeah.
Second fight, questionable decision once again.
Yeah.
But that last fight, that fourth fight,
The third fight was a robbery, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's a
so they
robbery.
were all close fights. But this is the thing. But that fourth fight, Juan Manuel knew, I got to stop this guy. I got to stop him.
Yeah.
Because the judges are just not going to give me a fair shake, even though he was deserving of it. We're not even going to talk about the fatal punch that ended that fight that had Manny looking like a guy that was asleep in the bed at 3 a.m. Okay. But do you guys remember the big right hand he got hit with that knocked him down
on his
earlier
back.
in that
Yeah.
fight?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Juan Manuel was fighting with purpose that night,
That's right.
but he always had a better IQ than Manny.
Yeah.
And then he had one hell of a trainer in his corner. And that was really the difference. You take away Manny's purpose with the fan base and the money that came with all of that, he would have lost a decision like that long ago. But that's what's brought that through. But you had a fighter in Juan Manuel who knew, I got to take this guy out. It can't go the distance.
Stormy, do you
And he
remember the
waited for him to make the
24/7?
mistake, and he did. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Remember the 24/7 they did when they were sitting in the movie theater watching film? It was Freddie Roach, Manny, Juan Manuel Marquez, and wasn't it Nacho?
Yeah,
Was it
Nacho
Nacho?
Bearstein. Yes, sir.
And do you remember when Juan went to Manny and he explained in that theater? He said Manny feints and he throws a left. I'm going to, and he has Manny by the hands. He said, I'm going to punch over that left and I'm going to land it. He told him what he was going to do. And I said, that's not going to work. You just told him what the fuck he's going to do. Then I realized, holy shit, Manny's a fucking idiot.
Well,
There it
basically, Manny did this all the time,
Yeah.
but he got away with speed,
Mhm.
speed. And most of the guys that he fought didn't use their boxing IQ. By the time Manny fought Barrera was kind of like going down. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't that same hungry Barrera that had something to prove against the Prince and Morales and stuff like that. So it's like that. But Barrera was that kind of fighter that could take a fighter's mistakes, because after he lost to Poison Jr. Jones and got sent back to the drawing board, he recognized, hey, I got to start being a little bit smarter in here. And he was able to do those things. But that's the beauty of the sport. When you can watch a fighter, whether he's won or lost, go back and add wrinkles to his game
Mhm.
and use his ring smarts, paired up with the skills that he may have. That's the beauty of it right there.
Man, that's I remember all of that, man. That Juan Manuel Marquez, he's not only one of my favorite Mexican fighters, he's like one of my favorite fighters of all time. If you don't like that guy, you don't like boxing. Just shut up.
Yeah. He's like very good at countering, and like that IQ of his is very, very high. That I actually seen that fight for my fight coming up. I was preparing for Caleb. I watched Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel, just because southpaw. Manny Pacquiao's a southpaw and Caleb's a southpaw. So I was watching different ways how to fight a southpaw, and man, the way how Marcus made it seem after the first round, of course, I had him winning every round. He just was able to counter him throughout the whole fight.
Yeah. That first fight, it was so amazing. He got dropped 3 times
the first round.
First fight in the first round, but he basically won the rest of the fight. I mean, he was putting a lesson on man.
Yeah, amazing fighter for sure.
Yeah, that guy's a brilliant. That's one of the guys I want to talk to on the show, man. That guy, his boxing IQ is very high, very, very high, and I actually thought that he would do better against Floyd. But Floyd shut that shit down. I was like, damn, yikes. I was like, shit. He didn't even touch Floyd. I was like, damn. But
that was simply because, again, his greatest strengths don't work against fighters like Floyd.
Right.
They don't. And that's that whole thing that Vasquez ran into against Oshaki.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you rely upon a guy being present and available, if that's what you rely upon, all the guy has to do is not be committed to what you rely upon.
True story.
And we know that Floyd was a well-versed fighter, had very good boxing ability, knew the punches to throw. Roger had Floyd so well trained with the effective punches of how to hit a guy where he's open. He's open for this, he's open for that. You know what I mean? Floyd was a master at doing those kind of things. But the one thing that nobody during his era that faced him could get him to do was to not be himself. See,
right.
That's what, when they ask about pairing Floyd up with greats from a different era, that's what the old fighters used to do. They would get you to come outside of yourself. They would find a way. But see, a lot of the fighters during Floyd's era weren't as versed like that. Remember, he was the one. Floyd was like Kobe. He was training. He was doing different things. Other guys starting to burn that candle at both ends and do, it's like, yeah, you could talk a good game and you can fight pretty tough and hard, but you're not committed obsessively.
Right.
And he was,
And that's what Ismael did. The first thing he did to Caleb was he said, "Oh shit, what round is this?" He said, "Wait, we're at round 7. What the fuck?" Right? And then the second thing Ismael did was he started walking him down. And then he was banging him to the body, took the gas right out the goddamn car. And I said, man, if Ismael had 2 more rounds, he stops him. So
let me ask one question. I got to know this because I don't think I asked you. Early in the fight, you hit him with a low blow. Was that purposely to stop? No, okay. I thought maybe
purposely, but I should have been purpose. I should do more things. But we're in a fight, so things do tend to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't on purpose. There was no need for me to hit him blow.
Okay. It's funny because I asked Socrates that, and he said it probably was. He should have did it 2 more times.
I mean, why not, man? They blew those knockdowns. I'm telling y'all, if y'all could find the fight, watch it, man. There was 2 blow knockdowns, and then they finally got it right. There go Rachel and Nonito in the chat. Salute y'all. The Donaires in the building. So where you ranked right now?
I think I'm 14 in America.
Okay, 14.
I say I'm 14, I believe.
Was that a WBC event?
It was a WBC. It was a regional one. So many. Silver one.
Yeah.
I hate the WBC. That's okay. Now,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like these boxing organization are really money hungry. Just too many.
no, you're not.
Like,
You're not wrong.
People, people would ask me questions on the belts and how it works, and I'm like, man, I thought it worked a certain way, but it's like there's so many belts to count, and the fees that boxers have to pay to keep the belts. It's
Did
absurd.
you know? And I don't like bringing this man's name up because he went to prison for doing something devastating. Did you know that when Carlos Baldomir won his belt, he had to vacate because he couldn't afford the sanction fees? He had to vacate it. And I don't like talking about that guy, but he had to vacate his title because he couldn't afford to keep it. And this is just that's sad.
That was after the Judah fight, right?
It was after the Judah fight. He couldn't afford it. And I'm like, oh shit. That's crazy.
I think they deduct a certain percentage from your purse, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how it works, but they do charge a large amount. And then being undisputed, you have to pay each sanction fees.
Now imagine. Now he had a belt for whatever. Now let's say they got the call right and you won the belt. Now I don't want to get into your minutes how much you got paid, but imagine they say, "Hey, you won, Ismael. That's great. You have this belt." And then the WBC hits you up and say, "Yo, to hold this belt, you got to give us $10,000."
Oh, that's absurd. I mean, for a regional belt, I don't think it works for the regional belt, but I don't know. But if that was the case, man, that's not a good look.
F the belt, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't afford it. You can't afford. Why would you? I'll say I'm gonna pay you 10 grand. And I don't know what the purses is. I'm just throwing numbers out. But I gotta imagine that once you see $2 million payday, it's nothing to pay $5,000. But to me, an average guy like me, $5,000 is a lot of fucking money to hold on to a belt. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. You understand?
Yeah.
So you said you're ranked 15. That's in the WBC.
No, it's by box rack.
By box rack.
Yeah, I don't know about when it comes to those organizations.
Shit. So we're almost in 2024. What are you looking to do between now? I like to go the next 2 to 5 years. What do you look? Well, let's go 2 to 3 years. What are you looking to do now? You said you want to do this thing full time now. So you gotta smash the gas on certain things. You gotta move different. You gotta move kind of aggressive but smart. And I forgot to ask, do you promote yourself or you promoted by?
My promoters, the main event. Main event.
Okay. So
do
y'all have
the Duvas?
What was that?
Is that with the Duvas?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the Duvas have been reputable. They haven't been as stronghold in promotion in these last few years as they were like the heyday of the 80s and 90s. But they are an experienced group and they can put you in good positions. So if you can show them your will and consternation to be the best fighter that you can be, they can make some things happen for you. They can make some things happen for you. But don't let anybody take advantage though.
I have a question. Rachel Donaire she wants me to ask you, when you received your contract, did you sign a copy the Muhammad Ali Act? Did you sign for that?
Yep, that's you have to. That's always gonna be there. Yep.
Did you sign a copy of the promoters? Like, did everyone sign?
Everyone signed. That's what you call it, a form that has to be signed. I think it's mandatory now, so fighters won't get fucked over. Back. I
Wow.
don't know how they did it back in the days, but before that act, I'm pretty sure manager took a certain percentage. From what I heard, I don't remember what it was, but it's implemented.
Now, for those that don't know, because I just learned something. I didn't know that was something you had to sign for. I didn't know that until just now. Are you familiar with what it is? The Muhammad Ali Act exactly?
I know it's something about money and management. Managers or promoters can't take a certain percentage from a boxer, something like that. Something in that nature.
It comes down to it's like an ethic law, but they still have found ways to finagle their way around it. It's like a promoter can't be managing and promoting you and the other guy that you're facing and stuff like that, and receive the benefit off the fight from both fighters, from you as a fighter, and it also goes against something that Don King took advantage of too. Like, Don King was a promoter, but he would also put his son Carl King in as a manager.
Wow, really?
And so they getting more money off of you. The money that Don would want to get at first, he's getting it anyway by putting Carl King as your manager. You know what I'm saying? So the Muhammad Ali Act was like put in place to hold up that kind of stuff too.
So it basically, so you won't be double dipping.
Right.
But okay, but in what ways does that work with going back to Don King with his son? That wouldn't count as in being a manager and a promoter, since it's someone else.
Oh, yes, it does. That's his son, man. And it's like his son works. You know what I mean? It's like it's unethical. That's right. At the end of the day, because you as the fighter are being taken advantage of. And Rachel just popped in, so she can explain it even better.
This is Rachel Donet. This is Nonito Donet's wife, and
hello.
She knows all about this stuff. Rachel, you there?
Yeah, sorry. I had to turn off my Alexa. No, so my question was, because I always wonder like how these, what we've seen in boxing and all these other things. So did they have you sign something that showed you exactly what the promoter was making?
What was making? No.
That's the one that I was looking for. So there's a form. I got to see if I can find one of mine. Well, not mine, but Nonito's. And it basically breaks down the promotional company, how much they're making and everything. And you have to sign it before you fight, before you step in that ring. But you don't sound like you've seen it. It's almost like a graph that says like TV rights, this how much they got, sponsorship, this how much they got, blah blah blah, this how much ticket sales. But it always says to be announced, or to be announced.
But that varies throughout the fight though, right? Or
everyone on the card is supposed to sign that.
Oh no, I definitely never seen that.
Oh shit.
Wow.
When did they present you with your contract for the fight?
They presented that what was it, like maybe a month before the fight, so I would say October.
So they gave it to you October. When did you get a signed copy from the promoter back?
Oh, I didn't get no signed copy either.
So it's not an executed agreement. If I were to give you, would you like some advice?
Absolutely, yeah. My advice is always wanted.
Whenever you sign a contract, if they won't agree to sign it before they sent it to you, then make sure that within the week of you signing, you get an executed copy because that's how promoters get out of it if they can't find the funding to fund the fight. If that contract's not duly signed, it's not a completely legal executed contract. So that's why when people have been talking about, like, how in the world did they pull this guy out of the fight, or that card's not going through, what happened to all those fighters that signed their contracts? The contracts, rarely do the fighters ever receive the executed copy, because that actually keeps it, keeps the promoters not liable for not putting on the event if they don't put their name on the dotted line, and you have nothing to prove.
Well, I had no idea. That's never been presented to me. I never even heard about that, honestly.
Oh fuck.
Well, just any contract, right? Like, a contract's not legally bounded until both parties sign. So it's just my suggestion. You can take it or not. But just looking out.
Absolutely. I'll double check because there's a lot of paperwork. But I'll double check. I think I haven't gotten that. I would have noticed.
From our experience, a lot of the fighters don't have it. Like, when you ask them, they either get presented the contract, press conference week of the fight, and have no negotiation rights at that point, or they signed it and then the promoter never signed it. So when they cancel a card and the fighter's like, what the hell, I've been training for 4 weeks, I'm not getting any remuneration for my training time. If you go to a lawyer, they're going to ask you, where's the copy of the contract? And then if they didn't execute it on their side, they'll say that the contract isn't binding because they never signed it.
So it's basically like having a receipt in case of any situation like that were to occur.
Yes. Yep. That's all.
This is and this is the other part. Now imagine dealing with that, and now you're a millionaire. Everybody in your pockets, you know what I'm saying? So you learn on this level, because trust me, I don't know everything. I'll be the first to say I don't know everything. I've learned so much listening to Rachel, and this is what we call in the hood. This is free game.
Hey Drew, this is a joke. According to some out there, you don't know nothing about boxing.
Yeah, exactly. Because some motherfuckers, I don't know shit about boxing. I guess I don't know shit. I guess I don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know shit. But here's the thing. I surround myself with people that know shit so I can learn. I can learn.
Of course, you don't know everything. I'm still don't know much. You know, it's funny. My grandfather tells me that sometimes things like this occur, and they always have. They never tell you the complete truth or how much is really is for the fight or something like that. You know.
Yeah, there's always bread laying around.
Right. Like there's a story here, and then there's the truth.
Yeah. This is something. This is something. The business of boxing. This is what fucks people up in the long run. You know, we talk to a lot of fighters, and I know for a fact they touched a few million, and they either got financial problems now, or they're just working regular jobs, and they say, man, fuck boxing. It's like, wow, you was really good, but no, fuck boxing. It's like, oh man, you generated 20 million in your career, and you driving a goddamn forklift now. What happened? Contracts. You understand? So, you know, that's what this show is about. You know, I want people to get educated on that. And, you know, that's why whenever Queen Rachel want to slide through and help out, you know, that's always great. Because right now, you know, you never know what can happen. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, Jamel Charlo could have a fight lined up. That person pulls out, and then your phone ring. Yo, you want to fly to Vegas and fight? You want to fly to Texas and fight Jamel Charlo? You gotta hop on that. You gotta hop on that. And what happens when Mel don't get you out of there in 4 or 5 rounds? He's gonna be in the fight. You understand? I'm gonna be right there in Texas with a Bronx shirt on. I'm gonna be right up over there. I don't give a fuck. You understand? But you need to make sure that You need to make sure that the business is in order. Now, Rachel, I had no idea about what you said. I had no idea. You supposed to sign the Muhammad Ali Act. I didn't know there was papers for that. I didn't know that.
There's so I've seen it. I mean, when I started seeing it, I automatically got power of attorney for Nonito, right? Because they normally bring it to you in the locker room before you wrap. And
What?
Nonito's, yeah. And so Nonito is like, he's like, what the hell is this? He's not going to look over this paper. And most of them, they just sign away, right? They don't even look. And so now, I mean, well, yeah. So ever since, I've been able to block anyone from going to Nonito asking him to sign something when his head's not there, right? So I look it over and then I request a copy. But I've seen going into other fighters' locker rooms where I've been, like, Nonito's been there talking to the fighter, and somebody comes in from the promotion and they're like, and I chop it up because usually it's a female. And I'm like, oh, what's that? And they're like, oh, I just need a signature. And the paper is signed into 16ths. So fold in half, fold in half, fold in half, fold in half. And it only has the fighter's name. That's all he can see. And I'm the one that'll be like, well, what is he signing? And I'll completely open it up. And that's where it says, this is the TV, like, this is how much the TV is getting. This is what sponsorship came in. This is, XYZ, the money that's already told. And then tickets and, like, because it has to say tickets and TV pay-per-view up to a certain date. I don't remember what the cutoff is. And then there's a new one because it will say this, but only up until this date. So if you want the updated report, you need to request that after the fact, probably I would say about 30 to 60 days, depending, because of all the reconciliation of, whatever. I mean, it shouldn't be that long because we have, a lot of tools now than paper to pen, pen to paper. But yeah, you have to get copies of those. So usually, yeah, before the fights, they have all the fighters sign on that to show, quote unquote, that how much that they have been receiving. The key to having that document and the documents thereafter proves your worth when you're coming up, right? So yeah, you might not be the main card at that time, but you're seeing like how much everyone's making. When you become the main card, for sure, you really need to know where like those numbers lie. So if you decide to go to another promotion and they're like, well, we only want to give you this, and you're like, no, I'm worth more. It's like, prove it. And you don't have that paper, you can't prove it.
So what happens if if Ismael says he hasn't seen it? What does he do then?
Probably want to talk offline for that one. I don't want to say it online.
Okay.
Maybe I should do a disclaimer. I am also, this is not legal advice.
Okay, yeah, disclaimer. It's not legal advice. It's friendly advice. This is just friendly advice. Ismael, have you seen anything that she's talking about?
No, man, I haven't seen none of that.
Oh, shit.
And then it's like she said, like when a fighter is focused on the fight and not really 100% there, you probably just don't notice those certain things.
Yeah.
But it's exactly like what Queen 71 is saying. Like what happens when you're on the undercard in a whole training camp and the person on the main event has an injury and pulls out, the whole fight card gets canceled. It's because you don't have anything to go back on to say, well, we had an executed contract, so you either pay me whatever just to make me shut up and sit down, right? But without an executed contract, there's nothing. Any lawyer will tell you, they'll be like, dude, the other guy didn't sign, so this is not it can't be legally binding if they didn't sign.
Yeah, this is the this is the part of boxing that fighters that's why it's important for guys to have good people around them to take care of that stuff, because this is pretty hard to deal with when you're trying to train and not get your head knocked off in the ring.
No, get yourself somebody that you trust, a good person that doesn't mind being bad. if that makes sense. Because I'm the number one that whenever I mean, I've walked into rooms and the promoter will walk the other way because they don't want to talk to me because they know that I'm going to come for them. So, you know, and Nonito is always going to be the good guy, and that's what he should be. He should just be focusing on fighting and being, you know, the gentleman that he is, and just focusing on that side of his career. He shouldn't have to, you know, do the negotiations or anything, but you have to have someone that you trust and someone that has balls that will stand up for you and will fight.
Yeah, that's you ever consider giving a seminar to fighters? What to look for? Not legal advice, but just a seminar of what you do. Not legal advice, but what you do. Like in reference to contracts and dealing with Nonito.
I've thought about it. Yeah, I mean, like, I go around everywhere and tell, like, you know, give everyone my insights, what we've been through, what to look for, how to move the game against the promoters, and how to make sure that you're always taken care of. But I mean, to actually put a full course, like, we've talked about it, but I just have to schedule it in between homeschooling the boys.
Homeschooling the boys, yeah, I know. That's hard work. Yeah, I think that'll be beneficial. I think that'll be very beneficial because yeah, man, I think this little bit of information, like I said, I didn't know. I knew of the Muhammad Ali Act. I didn't know that's something you had to sign. I didn't know that was something you had to actually sign. I just found out that tonight. I didn't know that. I just thought it was a rule and this is what we abide by. That's what I thought. So when the Muhammad Ali Act papers are presented to you, you can choose not to sign it. Is it optional? Anyone know? I don't know. Do you have to sign it, or do you must sign it, or it's like, you know what? Yeah, I could skip that. I don't need that. Ismael, did they make you sign it?
No, maybe.
No, they just say, yo, here. Did they say sign it if you want, or you know, you gotta sign it?
I have to sign.
Oh shit! See,
Wow.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know it was a must. I didn't know that. I just thought it was an act and it was written like the Constitution of America.
It's the first I'm hearing of it too.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Rachel, you stay there? Think you're on mute, sis.
Yeah.
Rachel, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
My internet just went. I freaking hate Cox Cable. I hate them.
What? Who's cable?
Cox Cable? COX, bro. COX. Calm down. Don't get so excited.
What? I'm sorry. Pause.
Yeah. I would say that Cox sucks. Cox sucks.
Oh my God. We are very immature here.
I'm sorry.
What the
Oh, we're
fuck?
super immature. You could hear me and Drew on the phone. If you see what Drew and I pass back and forth on the phone, all the memes and stuff, you'd totally think we were immature.
Oh yeah, we're like 13 years old. It's ridiculous.
Hey, don't leave me out of that because I can be very immature.
Oh my God. So Rachel, I didn't know. Is signing the Muhammad Ali Act papers, is that optional or they make you?
No, they make you. It's a financial disclosure.
Oh shit. Well, I did not know that. I did not know that. That's crazy. But it protects the fighters. It really does, man. And yeah, Ishmael, this is free game, brother. This is free. It's not legal advice. It's just free game. Things to look for, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's something. I have to I'm gonna rewatch this whole session again.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Analyze and because there's a lot of shady things in boxing. There's a good side and there's a dark side, and
Yeah.
most fighters, in particular, younger guys are not gonna know as much. you know. And then boxing is always changing, so there's probably something new that even old school trainers don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 to 3 years, where you want to be?
2 to 3 years, I want to be in a better position when it comes to boxing. As you know, I've been taking tough fights back to back.
Yeah.
Probably not the best decisions to be making, but I'm not going to be young forever. I'm a person that do want to finish boxing at an early age. I don't want to be in it for too long. For such reasons, such as that presented itself now, because there's going to be things like that you have to deal with, and like you said, guys that said fuck boxing, and sometimes situations like that will make you want to say fuck boxing because it's just so shady. But in terms of fighting, yeah, well, maybe to my mid-30s, maybe a little younger than that. There's no need for me to, if I make a good living, there's no need for me to continue to be taking punishment.
That's real talk.
Not that I took punishment, but it's like a car. Eventually it's gonna be high mileage on there if you keep on boxing for too long.
So, as far as the sanctioning bodies is concerned, do you favor any sanctioning body over the other?
Man, I don't even know anymore, man, because WBC be on some corny shit.
Oh yeah, I know. We know.
Be on some
we know.
They favorite boxers, they favorite slam boxers, and then they create these belts that I don't know. It doesn't.
Create a belt.
Yep.
Why don't you call Mauricio Silly Man and ask him if you could be a franchise champion? See what they say.
I don't even know
Where did that go? Where did that go? Where did the franchise status go? It just vanished. Where did it go?
I don't even know what that means. That's another one. That's just like there's a franchise champion, and there's a super champion, and then there's a champion
of recess.
Yeah, so that's all confusing to me. I just don't know what's I know the purpose for it, but it just doesn't make sense.
So I just pulled up the rankings in the BC, the BA, the IBF, and the WBO. 154. All the way down to 15. And let me just say this. I'm looking at the WBC in 15, number 15. You know who's ranked at number 15? And here's where I say,
excuse me.
Don't listen to me. I'm just an idiot on YouTube talking boxing. I don't know shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. But you're already in New York. And where your people from?
People as in
like your ethnicity, your background.
Pops Ecuadorian, my mom is Dominican.
Perfect. Because number 15 in the WBC, and I think this will be brilliant for you to put next year, Puerto Rican Day Parade, that's Saturday. Maybe you can get a hold of Xander Zayas.
Oh yeah, I had asked for that fight before. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Sock has told me. Yep.
And what happened? He want no smoke? Tell me he want no smoke.
I don't know. My manager knows the story, but I said I would want to fight. I would want to fight with him. In the future, of course, that's a fight that I definitely want. And I think it will be a great fight. He's a good fighter. I'm a good fighter. Yeah, we could definitely do it in New York.
That would be lit. And for those of you that are not in my city, let me explain why that would be lit. The Puerto Rican Day Parade, that whole week, those flags are waving.
Mm-hmm.
And the parade is usually on a Sunday. And Xander already has a built-in fan base, which is that's beautiful. And you know how they like to put DR versus PR. You already know what's going on there. And I think, as far as a market, that would be insane. at the Garden, I don't think the Hulu would hold enough. I think they would have to move that to the big room.
Considering what happened my previous bout, I think it was a full house. So much people.
Yeah.
There was so much people. So yeah, definitely. I think that would be an even bigger fight.
I think so. Even if they have to put y'all as a co-main.
Oh yeah.
And you know, they'll do something funky, like they'll throw Berlango on the card.
Yeah.
You know? They'll definitely do
Possibly. That's a big possibly, because I don't think he signed with Top Rank anymore.
Right.
That could be possibly maybe not.
Man, I buy 3 tickets. I'm dead ass. That you can't miss that. You can't miss that. Matter of fact, Thomas.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's push it. Zayas.
Oh, I'll definitely help do this.
Ismael versus Zayas, Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend.
That was sell.
That was sell.
Yep.
That was sell. I'm all for it. I'm with that.
And especially after it's his last fight. Everybody. I think he gained fans. He gained Irish fans, because the Irish fans that were rooting for Caleb, they were nervous at the end.
Yeah,
it was like, this is a great fight. They didn't expect the outcome of the fight to be the way it was. So.
Yeah, Ismael was supposed to get smoked. I'm telling you, they brought you in there to lose, bro. They brought you there to lose, and you didn't get the memo.
Yo, you know what's funny? Earlier today, I was at my barber today, and he told me, man, like, this is something that you're saying. I was supposed to get it. Like, after he gave me that days, he said I was supposed to lose that.
Yep.
But he said, you know what happened. He said after that you must have woke up and just started taking it in, man.
I'm telling you, when I saw you, it was Tuesday night. We was with Sock. Sock took me to the gym, to John's, and we go, and I pick up the tickets from you, and you go, he goes, yeah, man, because I don't know how you said it. He said, yeah, because I got to go to work Friday. And me and Sock looked at him and said, what? And just the fact that you was just so confident, and the fact that you was going to work the next day, I was like, yo, it's just gonna get in this guy's ass.
Yeah.
like that's when I was like, I told Sock, I was like, yo, he's ready.
Oh yeah, I was confident. I mean, throughout, even though like people see me, like I'm pretty quiet and timid. I don't talk much, but throughout the whole prestige of the fight, they didn't really interview me much. Maybe just the very beginning. I don't know where that interview's at. So, but I have not badmouth anyone or talk smack about it. I just went in there and I said, hey, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna fight because I'm here to fight, and that's all. There's no need for me to be doing all this talking and back and forth like a circus. I'm here to conduct a professional fight, and that's what we're gonna do. And like I said, there was never any beef or any animosity. I never had any animosity towards him or opponents before that. We're here to conduct a bout and do business and fight.
At any point, did you feel like, man, I feel kind of disrespected? Did that come across your mind at any point?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. There was this video of Dana White. He was on Instagram, and the reason is that he just so happened to forget my name. He hesitated a bit. He didn't know. Like, you could have just made a new video and just to try it again,
Yeah.
But like, I just felt like, yo, it's like that's a disrespect. And my friends sent me the video and told me like, yo, they don't know who you are. Like, not saying I'm somebody known, but if you're gonna conduct a match with two fighters, you should at least do it a proper way, And then even the commentators, I didn't like how they referred to me as the other guys and what people was telling me watching at home. It's like,
wow.
Cooney was bad. I didn't watch. I have not watched it, but everybody said that Cooney was very biased in his commentary. Very biased.
Yes, wow. People was telling me that watching back home, if you're conducting, even though he's the star and he's the the golden child, whatever you want to call him. If you're conducting a match, because he's not he's not fighting himself, he's fighting me. So I want to be treated with respect, because I'm I'm not what people what they thought I was. I was gonna come here and just lose. I'm here to fight, and I'm a tough fighter, and I'm here to show that. So for them to say that I'm just the other guy, it's like, yo, my name is there for you to, y'all know my name. Why the hell y'all referring me as that? So I just felt really disrespected from that.
My gosh. Does Cooney normally commentate? I mean, I know why they brought him in. I know why.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I just felt like if it, like, don't make it so obvious that, like, don't make it so blatant obvious that you're going for the other guy, cheering him on, and just like everything that he's do, it's like he's does, and it's an applause, and everything I do is what they call me, a street fighter. I'm just resorting to street tactics. It's like that's
what they said.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate that. And I'm a guy that's not gonna get upset of things so easily, but when there's things like this, when you're disrespecting what I'm doing, is like, yo, I don't appreciate that.
I didn't know. Well, I know why they brought him in. Cooney, his background, he's Irish.
That's exactly why they brought him. I don't know if he's done the Fight Pass before, because it was under the Fight Pass. That's the Dana White thing. But from what I've heard, that they brought him in only for this fight. I don't know if it's true or not, but
it makes sense, because he's also, I guess we can call him an MSG legend. He's an amateur legend. I mean, people know him in the city.
Yeah, and he's at the fights. He's always at the fights.
Yeah.
In the city.
So I guess that made sense. I guess.
And it's such because I when I went, I conducted myself with respect. I respected everybody, shook hands, didn't talk smack about anybody or anything. And it's like when they do that, it's like, that just sucks, man, because y'all know my whole demeanor, how I am as a person. It's like, why do you have to like go to that? But it's all business. At the end of the day, nobody really gives a fuck.
It is, but I think I mean, I don't like, talking about moral victories, but this is a moral victory, because you were supposed to get smoked and you didn't. You ate his best punch, and you turned the whole tide in your favor, and he was confused in so many spots. He wasn't able to adjust. You walked forward. You controlled your ring generalship was through the roof. Your punch placement, you offset his. The second half of the fight, he was just flurrying to win. There was even certain spots where I saw him looking at the clock.
Yep.
And I said, he don't want to be here no more.
Yep.
Past round 5, he didn't want to be here. I said, oh shit, man. 2 more rounds. And then when you got him in round 10, when they counted that knockdown, I said, man, if he had 2 more rounds, I don't think if it went into round 11 and it was the same drama, I don't think he answers the bell for round 12. He'd have quit in his corner. And what you did, you made everybody there. I mean, come on, there was some rock stars there. John Jones was there. Come on, man. You made all those people, even Dana White, look at Walsh and say, this guy? You supposed to dog walk this guy. Is he that good, or are you not the goods that we thought you were? Now, they already have a lot of hype invested in this kid. I bet you they're going to go down, because he's supposed to be moving up in ranks. At this point, with all this celebration, there's not supposed to be any more light work, especially he's running around with some title. I'm willing to bet he's going to go into the rankings like 5 spots below you and bring up some fool just so he could style on him. I bet you.
Oh, definitely. I already see the play. I think in March they're going to bring him back here for St. Patrick's Parade or whatever, and he's going to fight a cupcake. Yeah, I already see the play.
It's going to be like a 3-round knockout.
Yeah.
And because right now, Ismael, he needs his confidence back because you stole it. You took his confidence, brought it home, and fed it to your dog back there.
Yeah. And you gave him a bunch of first. His first knockdown, You took him into deep waters.
Yep.
You know, you made him touch his gloves touched the mat a bunch of times. You know, you made him look tired. You know, and he looked defeated. I mean, there's a bunch of firsts that happened. So they're gonna feed him a cupcake his next fight.
That's right. So this right here, and this situation, you make the case for the Zayas fight, because Zayas is another guy that's very celebrated, and you have the ability to go in there and bring it to him and give him a bunch of firsts too. And Zayas is a pretty good fighter, but I don't see him dog walking you either. That's a great fight, man. So
definitely a fight, perhaps next year or maybe the years to come. I mean, you know, the Top Rank is you know, they're moving him right.
Yeah, oh shit, you know, Top Rank. He's a Top Rank fighter. God damn it.
Yeah. Like, you know
how they do.
Yeah.
How they do with them. You know, Ismael, you know about the NBF rule at that Top Rank, right? You know about that?
What's the rule?
It's a no black fighter rule.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. I did. Yeah, I did. I don't know. I can't.
It's confirmed. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. And if they look at you and they say, you know what, this guy could offset, do we feed him to Ishmael? Because if we feed him to Ishmael, he fuck around and lose. We're losing about $10 million in 5 years, fucking around. So we can't do that. But ain't no harm in trying. So we gonna get on our grind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Bronx, baby. You know, we gonna get on our grind, man. Fuck that. You know, Zayas, you know, salute to Zayas, but you know, brothers gotta eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kill or be killed, man. You eat what you kill.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes. This fight was definitely an eye opener for me. I feel like I'm a much better fighter because, you know, sometimes you do need that adversity to, you know, all that against you to see what you're really about, you know. So
hell yeah.
Then I was happy. I was content with my fight. I was happy. I came out extremely happy. Not like my first defeat. I knew I lost that one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just something, you know. But when you know you won, and you know you did what you did, then you know people can't take that away from you.
No, you're right.
You know? And then people was also with me. You know, many people thought I won, so that also plays a factor.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I mean, so when you plan on getting back in the ring?
Perhaps early next year, maybe February, March. Still no confirmation date or anything. We haven't spoke about that. Just took a few time off the gym. You know, just to relax, take it easy. I'm gonna get back to running those probably next week. But I'll get back to the gym soon. I just needed that time off. After before this fight, I had came out of a fight and I didn't take no time off. I just came out of a fight back in September and started training for this fight. Literally, I think that same week I had to do the face off, or maybe it was that Monday coming up.
I think it was that week.
Yeah. So literally after I came from my fight, I have to do a face off, and you know, so I didn't take no time off. So right back in the gym that same week.
Man, that's what's up, man. Well, whatever y'all plans are, you know, I'm here to promote. Man. You know, I'll get the word out here. We get some people down there. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you fighting, and you know we're gonna be in the mix, man. What's your social media?
I have Instagram. It's Maelo Villarreal. That's MAELO VILLARREAL.
All right, I'm gonna have to run that back. Let me pull up my Instagram.
It's VILLARREAL, right? Maelo Villarreal. That's the Instagram name. I put it in the chat.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I got it. I got it. All right, let me copy.
Excuse me.
You all right, Thomas?
I'm recovering still. I got this Chinese infection.
You got the kung flu.
The China virus.
It sucks. So that's why I had to turn the camera off. My wife kicked me out the kitchen, so I got to, and then I can't. There's certain places I can't be in here, so yeah. Rightfully so.
That's his gram right there. That's the gram right there. Yeah. So that's his social media. You can follow him. Bronx on deck. This is what we do, man.
Mm-hmm.
So Ismael, man, I appreciate you for sliding through. You know what I mean? And
yeah, it was great to be here. Definitely I would like to be here again.
Oh yeah, man. You got an open invite. Anytime you want to slide through, come on through. We got a lot of people that slide through here. We got a lot of people that slide through here, man. So you never know who you may see. You may see a fighter from the past, the present, or the future. You never know. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying? I sent you the link to my page, right? Did I?
I sent it to him.
I got it. Yes.
Yeah, I was showing him the other day. You had Nonito on, So as you know, Maelo, Drew is like a big brother to me. Drew is really good people. Drew's the one that put me into YouTube. I know a lot of things, and I know Sock, and Sock has been around a long time. He knows a lot of different people. So, I'm affiliated with people that are good people like Drew. Is great. Drew. This is my first time on Drew's show, and I get to talk to the Sensei. The Sensei is one of my favorite people on YouTube. Stormy B Man is one of the most intelligent boxing minds. You know what I'm saying? So today was great for me as much as it probably was great for you. But so I appreciate you, Drew, for having me on as well.
Anytime. You got it. I got open door policy for you also, but you let the haters tell it. We ain't shit. We don't know what we talking about. we don't know what we talking
Put
about.
my link in the chat too. So if you want to click on that link, you could go over to my channel and subscribe and get you some good stuff over there as far as boxing.
That's right.
Yeah.
That Stormy B Man, again, brilliant boxing mind, and it comes from a place of experience. I mean, he's been in boxing on a level that I haven't been. It's no foolishness over there. It's all foolishness. Stormy B Man, all caps but no cap. Yeah,
that's right.
Wanted to say that shit for a long time, man. Ismael, man, salute to you, good brother. I appreciate you.
Nah, cool.
Y'all see, I'm representing tonight, right?
Bomb Squad, baby. Bomb Squad, baby.
Bomb Squad, yes, sir.
Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad.
Can somebody time out Mr. Shelton?
All right, Drew. Thank you guys for having me. Have a good night. Rachel, have a good night. Thank you for the information. Also, Stormy, thank you for the information too as well. Well, knowledgeable talk.
And I was checking out some highlights of your fight because while you guys were talking, I went and looked you up, man, and I could see what you guys were talking about all those times dude went to the canvas and everything. So that's what I was kind of doing behind the scenes. Like I said, I like to, research stuff for myself, and it was just like I assessed that guy, But hey, man, you're gonna be all right, man. You're gonna be all right.
Absolutely, good brother.
Appreciate
Ismael,
it.
we'll talk to you soon, good brother.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night, bro.
You too.
Man, that's a good brother right there, man. That's a good brother. I want everything in the best. I want everything in the best for him, man. And like I said, I'm automatically biased. He's from the Bronx. You know what I mean? He told me he's from Bronx River Projects.
Mm-hmm.
You know what happened? I think, today? Did you hear what happened?
No.
Hassan Campbell went over there wilding out, fucked around and got shot.
Today?
Today.
I think he was live. Today. He was live earlier because sometimes I watch his live.
Yeah, somebody blipped him. Somebody blipped him today.
But he's
what the fuck is he doing?
He's really an idiot though. I mean, I don't even know how he gets so many followers, but because
You know why?
I know a bunch about him. But
You know why? Because people like bullshit.
yeah,
People love. hold on. People love bullshit.
wow.
I'm gonna say it one more time, and I want the chat to listen. People love bullshit. One more time. People love bullshit. Now, I don't know what he got going on. I know the face. I actually saw him in the street a few years ago. And I said, ain't that the guy from YouTube? Because how I know him is that he got into a shit match with, what's his name? From the NBA.
African Bambaataa? Oh, no.
No.
You know, he accused somebody there. So.
I know about Bambaataa, and I knew about that rumor about him in the 80s.
Yeah.
But and I'm not calling Hassan a liar. I'm not saying that because I heard about that on the street level. He got into it with what's his name, the NBA player that got a YouTube channel, Kwame Brown.
Oh, Brown, okay.
And I watched it. I don't know how it came on my algorithm, but him and Kwame got into it, and he wanted to fight Kwame. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. It was just ridiculous.
He's always doing that. He's always trying to get fights with, like, you know, he tried to get a fight with my son. Like he said, we'll put up this money and we'll do it for, you know, charity or something. He's always trying to do something like that. I mean,
look, that man is very angry.
Yeah.
And and today, for whatever reason, he took his ass over to Bronx River Projects. All right. For those of you I don't know, just know that that's the projects, y'all. He took his ass over there. In the video, the crazy shit is you see at one point a woman walked by and looked. A dude walked by, some Spanish dude, and told her, yo, just go home. It's okay. One dude was like, yo, chill. I'm a fan. Just do you, man. Just not here. Look where you at. And he kept on. Next thing you know, later on in his stream, he's speeding to the hospital because he got a hot one in him. What the fuck? What did you think was going to happen eventually? So I don't know what's going on with him. I'm glad he's not dead. But come on, brother. What are you doing? Oh my God, man. I think that happened today. I said, what the fuck? I said, Bronx River Houses. I said, do you know what happened this morning? With Hassan Campbell? He was like, nah. I said, nigga went over there beefing and got shot. And you know what it is? It was probably somebody that had no beef with him. Don't know nothing, don't care. But now you're on my block hollering. He's literally, yo, come outside. I'm like, who's he talking to? Come outside, I'm out here. I'm like, who's he talking to? Well, I heard his stream went away and then it came back and he's speeding to the hospital. He got hot lead in him. And I'm like, what did he think was gonna happen? People saying, nah, it was fake. Nah, cats was throwing bottles at him out the window. Well, he fucked around and found out. It's crazy. I mean, goddamn, what is he doing? That was a bad move, man. What?
When he finds himself speeding to the morgue, there will be no televised show.
Yeah, absolutely.
He said the address. Yo, Thomas, don't you know what the Lord forgive me. The address that he said of the building, I used to mess with a girl that lived in that building. he said, yo, 1425 is my building. I said, ooh, I know that building.
That's crazy.
I know that. I said, he please, man. And I bet you the kid that did it is probably a kid, probably some 17-year-old.
Possibly.
It was no grown person. Can you imagine trying to get up and like handle your business and you get this nigga outside screaming in front of your building? Like, what are you doing? Man, my God, man. Yeah, stop fucking around. Well, I hope he's okay. I hope he didn't hit nothing vital, and he just need to. Is he a rapper or something?
I don't know. I don't know if he's involved in hip hop in some way, or he obviously he's been in jail, and he talks
Yeah.
about his time in jail and his time after jail. He does a lot of that, but he's been locked up for certain things. And
Didn't you say Ben Bada was he one of the kids that Ben Bada used to feel up on?
that's what he's saying. He accuses him of touching him. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to play with that, man. But
Yeah.
I'll just say this: I heard about that legend in the '80s.
Mm-hmm.
You know that he had a problem with his hands, and
He used to go by Poppy from Bronx River. That was his
See?
name, Poppy from Bronx River.
Poppy from Bronx River, and he was that's a whole nother show, man. That
Mhm.
But you know when you hear about it back then when there was no internet, and then fast forward to when there's an internet and people are like, no, this is true. It's like, uh-oh. And you know, he's dead. He's not here to defend himself. And it's like, okay. You know, it's just scary. But I hope he's all right, you know, and I hope, you know, he probably needs therapy because this dude, from what I hear, he gets angry and he does shit like that. You know?
Yeah.
He said, fuck that, Kwame, let's fight. I'm like, Kwame Brown's like 7 feet tall. What are you doing? He's like, yo, he's in the videos on YouTube, y'all. He in the middle of the project. Yo, I'm out here. I'm like, oh my God, he's asking for it, man. And he got it. He got it. Well, salute to him, man.
He's like in his 50s too. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
why are you doing that? It's ridiculous.
Well, they say God takes care of babies and fools.
It is.
There you go.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, Tom, something how they can find you, brother.
Thank you, Drew, and thank you, Stormy. Appreciate you guys. You can find me on YouTube. You know, I'm always in the chats and in both y'all channels and other channels. I'm all over. I have my own channel. We do sports talk every Friday, Saturday. You know, we talk about boxing, football. I try to get special guests on here and there. You know, it's just, you know, just for shits and giggles. You know, it's for fun.
Yeah. So
you know,
when are you having Mr. Shelton back on your show? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I love to have Mr. Shelton on. He likes to feud with my boy Sock. They go at it. It's pretty funny. But I'm not friends with Shelton right now because my team lost today and his team won and we played them Thanksgiving. So maybe after we'll see. But nah, Shelton's cool. So you know, but yeah, that's where you can find me on YouTube. But you know, mostly in the chats in y'all guys' channel. You know, I know a little bit of boxing. You know what I'm saying? So
no doubt, man. Stormy, let them know where they can find you if they don't know.
Stormy B Man is the channel. That's where it's going down. That's Stormy B Man in all caps, but there's no cap.
There it is.
Had a wonderful answering the bell this morning. My man Junior the Truth stopped through, and we were able to have a great conversation talking about this beloved sport of ours. And I'm just excited. You know, I took that little time off and now I'm back and I'm ready to rip and roar now.
Yo, listen, we're gonna do a year review show. we had a good year.
An excellent year.
Had a good year. And it's ending with a bang. Because that card, I can't wait till we start talking about that card, man. Hopefully all of those fighters stay healthy. That's going to be a hell of a card. That is a monster card. But I'm holding off on that until we get a little closer. But man,
did Watcher send you that video on AJ?
Yes.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it yet. He sent it
Please
to me.
Please watch it.
Okay.
I watched it this morning and I messaged Watcher about it. Hey, it's very profound. It's very revealing about some things that we've said about him. We're spot on. It's like, but you need to check it out because it's conducted over there, you know, the interviewer.
No doubt. Well, I'm going to pack it up. I'll be back tomorrow morning and tomorrow evening pep talk. Got a lot to discuss, man. So, man, salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Cash App, the Super Chat. Much love and appreciation, man. Man, salute to Ismael, man. And we're gonna push this brother as far as he wants to go. So, with that being said, yeah, let's catch you on the rebound. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.